Hello, today is Friday, April 23rd, 2021, and today we're going to be doing some Unity development stuff. But I believe, if I recall correctly, today is also the day that Ludum Dare starts, in, I believe, 8 hours? Yeah, or no, 9 hours, my bad. So Friday, 8 p.m. CDT. Oh, yeah, okay, I guess it is currently daylight time. That makes sense. Okay, so I think we're gonna be doing this, pretty sure. So it's through Monday the 26th, but I think the actual, like, individual thing ends at what is it, 8 p.m. on Sunday? Or, yeah, 8 p.m. on Sunday, I think that's a thing. But yeah, this is going to be fun. So what I wanted to do today is, take a look at the final themes. Basically what we'll do is, for this stream, we'll take a look at the final themes, get some ideas, and then later on, probably around 7 o'clock, if it starts at 8, I'll start a stream. Well, no, I guess we'll say at 7:30. Yeah, 7:30, I'll start like a stream, do some brainstorming, and we'll see what we can do with this. But it looks like, I guess I wanted to look through the final themes, and also wanted to look at the Unity assets to see what actually there is, because it's very likely that I'm not going to be able to do art for it myself in such a short amount of time. So one of the things we're probably going to have to do is probably going to have to find some kind of art assets. And I just wanted to see what was available just to get some ideas ahead of time. So it looks like there's deeper and deeper, so you could think of something like Diggy Diggy Hole, like a dwarf type game. Or, you could do that with a horror game. Leave something behind. That's always been an interesting mechanic idea. So there's a lot of ideas where you start with a bunch of stuff and then you have to leave something behind every time you go to a different level. Parasite, that's a very old game, I believe. There's an old game called Parasite that I remember playing a long time ago. It was a multiplayer game, probably not going to do multiplayer because that would be a little bit difficult for like a 2 or 3, for a 2-day thing. Shelter, you could think of Fallout expansion, that's like 4X almost. Hidden World, that's more like, trying to think of a game that does this. You could do that with like a detective type of thing. Delivery, that's a very easy one to do, I think. You Are the Power Source, I've seen this one a lot. I've seen this theme come up a lot. It could be, there's some interesting things you can do with that. Generations, that could be a life type game, like Conway's Game of Life. That could be something like CK. One tool, many uses, that's basically, I almost want to say that's Minecraft, but hard to say. Automation, lost signal, one-time use, containment, that's interesting. You could be in containment, or you could be containing something. Split in 2, that could be the death condition or the victory condition, depending on what you want to do with that. Summoning could be fun, there's a lot of, you could do like an auto chess thing where you summon characters or something as a necromancer. Okay, so let us take a look at this. It's a simple 2D characters. Huh, that's interesting. I wonder what else this has with it. Let's mute that. I could do some interesting stuff with this. I have to keep that in mind, that exists. But it looks like most stuff is either fantasy or sci-fi themed, so a horror game would be harder to do. There's isometric stuff, that's interesting. It's an interesting art style. It's also the case of trying to pick something where if I needed to add some stuff and match the art style, how hard would that be? So it's very likely that I could do pixel art. I could do that. It's the not pixel art stuff that becomes difficult for me. But yeah, it's interesting. Hey Zaysha, how's it going? It looks like Let 'Em Dare is starting soon, so I kind of want to do that at least once. So it's gonna be a fun weekend. But how are you doing? And so right now I'm just sort of looking at the Unity assets that I might be able to use for that, and sort of making a plan for that. Ooh, 2D hexagon sprites. What did this have on it? Interesting. Okay, it's good to hear that you're good. Yeah, just kind of trying to make a plan for it so that I don't get, so that I don't have to do it later. Definitely the compo stuff. I don't know. I don't like working with other people for game jams, unless I know them. But yeah, like it's difficult for me to like join a bunch of strangers, and also there's sort of the It's sort of like the testing yourself kind of thing, where you can see exactly how, like I can see exactly, you can jam solo too. Oh, I didn't know that. I guess that's a good point. Where does it give you the rules? Huh, there's no, is there a rules page for this? Yeah, it's coming up, I know. Thing, where are the rules? Oh, they're the rules. Team is optional. Oh, okay. Hey, percentage guy, how's it going? Oh, under guides. Oh, under guides, okay. That's an interesting place to put that. So jam, so 72 hours. I'll check Discord in a minute. I want to look at this though. Oh, so for everyone, okay. Teams, individuals, okay. So this is you must work solo. Must be created within 48 hours. The only constraint here is 48 hours. Like all the other stuff, I'm kind of gonna do. It's a question of whether I want to try for 48 hours or 72 hours. Because isn't the jam normally 72? Yeah, it's 72. Oh wait, actually no. Oh, wait, hang on. Oh, all content must. Okay, so your content has to be created yourself. I forgot about that rule. I'm not used to that rule. That's interesting. There's restrictions on asset use. Yeah, okay. Huh. So that does change things a little bit. I will definitely have to think about that. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, I gotta think about that. So the other thing I could do is I could sort of cheat. Well, not cheat, but it really is hard mode. Well, the thing is, you must make everything but the engine, basically. Yeah, I mean, that does seem really difficult. If I were good at like procedural stuff, then it would be a little bit easier, I think, because then I could just procedurally generate some of the art. But one of the things that I could do, so it's one of the things that I've done in the past too, is if I find some kind of art that I like, you know, some kind of, I don't know, let's say spaceships or something, right? What I could do is I could trace that in Inkscape and make something very close, but not the same. And then what that would do is that would basically mean that I don't have to do any creative work there. All I have to do is just the mechanical work of tracing it. And then like the creative stuff, you know, it would be created within 24 hours. It would be a time sink, but it would still meet the requirements. So I could do something like that. That way the art would at least be well designed. If it didn't, you know, if it didn't have the right color scheme or something like that, it'd be fine. But yeah, that's gonna be, yeah, I'm gonna have to think about that then. I don't know, I'll decide by later today. Like, I'm gonna do a stream later where I sort of map out some ideas for different games. And maybe, depending on what the theme is, that might determine which one I do. That'll probably be true. I'll probably just use, I'll probably use the theme as the thing that determines it. Because really, this is the only thing that changes, right? Like, I don't mind including the source code, I don't mind including, or working alone, and I don't mind the 48-hour restriction. It's just all the content. And oh yeah, I won't be able to use any music or sound from outside. So that'll mean that it'll have to be generated. At least the sound will. The music, I don't know how that's gonna work. That might be the thing, because I really can't do music. I don't know, it'll depend. Yeah, that's a good point. Thank you for bringing that to my attention. I mean, I might just have to go with that. Okay, let's see. So, Discord. Open Discord. I have Discord open. A flood effect. The one game I've done, I just didn't do music, or I didn't do music, just sound effects. Yeah, I might have to do that. The art was pretty simple too. Yeah. I mean, I don't mind doing like pixel art or something. Yeah, I think for me it's gonna depend mostly on the theme. 'Cause let me take a look back at the themes, which are up here. Okay, so which ones of these could I imagine in pixel art? Actually, I guess I could imagine most of them in pixel art. Maybe... Yeah, I could imagine pixel art for most of this, actually. So that would probably be fine. Maybe split in two would be a bit difficult. Shelter might be a bit tough as well. Oh, I got 15th. Oh wow, that's amazing. Yeah, very well done. So they aren't that important. Okay. Okay. Then I might have to give it a try and just ignore sound and music, or you know, make it so that the music is off by default, because I think that would make me score higher. If the music was on by default, if the music that I made was on by default, it probably would reduce my score. But I could probably do a lot of this with vector art as well. The problem with vector art is making levels in vector art. I'm not good at that. Like environment art in vector art for me is very difficult. But I mean, I guess if it was like a side scroller, that might not be too much of an issue. Yeah, that might work. If it were like a side, so I could see like a side scroller or a top-down thing, I could probably do the vector art for very easily. The question just becomes how, yeah. The question just becomes which theme is it and what ideas do I have for it. So yeah, that's a good point. So percentage guy, what did you want me to check Discord about? I know that you were asking about the blood effect. I'm not entirely sure how you would do a good blood effect in Unity. I mean, it depends on what you want the blood to do. So if you want it to like stick to things and kind of drip, that would probably mostly require a shader, or maybe you could do that. Actually, does Unity support vector graphics? Vector graphics. Because if Unity supports vector graphics, you might be able to make like a dynamic... Well, actually, no, I take that back. You could make some kind of dynamic mesh, and yeah, you could do something with a dynamic mesh. You could do that if you wanted it to like drip. But if you just wanted it to like have particles, particle system, I just need the particle system to do stuff. What do you mean you need it to do stuff? Like, yeah, what do you mean you need it to do stuff? I don't know what that exactly means. But yeah, if you just have a particle system, that's how I would probably do it. Just have a bunch of particles everywhere. But if you wanted it to like stick to stuff or have some kind of dynamic properties to it, you could put like a sprite mask or something. I need it to play. I mean, it should automatically play. In Unity, let me just insert a particle system. 3D, what is it? It's in effect, isn't it, right? So if you have a particle system, it should play automatically. Why is that, like, 10 miles wide or something? So it should play. If you deselect it, it'll pause. Yeah, like if you deselect it, it'll pause. And then if you... Oh, what do you have to do? There's ways to make it stop actually playing. So if it's stopped, like sometimes it'll just stop like this. And then it'll just play. Oh, so the particle system. Oh, right, okay. So let me... I know that I can change... Okay, so what you want to do, if you want it to not constantly do things, is you change this emission property here. You change it to 0, and then there's bursts. And so you can have bursts. You can set... so if you wanted it to only play once, you could do something like that, and then you could just say play, and then you get a single burst. I want the particle system to play when the joint gets destroyed. So there's a couple things you could do with that. You could either spawn the particle system when the joint is destroyed, so you could say on destroy, or you could, if you want it to play only once, you just set the looping to false, and then you set the play mode to burst, and so you just have, you know, bursts. If you need it to play at a specific time, I think there's a particle system.play. And you can just tell it to, oh, what is it? I thought there was a play on awake setting, but I might be wrong. No, there is a play on awake. So you turn play on awake off, and then you would, let me show you. Come on. Come on, Visual Studio, I believe in you. So you have a protected particle system. Particle system, sure. There is a particle system.play. And you can, yeah, you can just tell it to play, and it'll play once. So yeah, something like that. I mean, we could do like a little smoke puff for the actual tank, right? So you could do something like, okay. So we could put this at, let's say, the fire point. And then, sure, I'm going to tell this to loop, and then I'm going to tell this to play on awake. And let's start playing. So we get bursts. That's fine. So we want, basically these need to be really tiny. Actually, first things first, the emission shape. This needs to be, no wait, this can be a cone, the angle can be that, the radius can be 0. And then the radius thickness can also be 0. And so that's roughly how far they'll go. So what we can do is we can say the start lifetime is, I don't know, 1. And let's say half a second. Start speed being like 10. Wow, really? That goes... Interesting. Okay. Goes way too far in half a second. Let's say 5. No, that's too far. 3? Yeah, 3 will work. Okay. Then we can say the start size is random between two constants. Let's say 0.5. Let's say 0.3 and 0.5. Something like that. And then the start speed should probably be random. Well, it really needs to be line to direction? No, let's not do that. What was that? I know how to make it play. Okay. Then what's the issue? Under cone. I need to know how to detect the joint breaking and then make it play. So how are you doing the joints? Okay, so it's mad about you misspelling how. And that word is apparently now allowed in my chat. That's fun. I don't care. I don't care if it's allowed as long as someone's not abusing it. I mean, obviously it's a misspelling. Ooh, that's not what I want. Hemisphere? Hemisphere, interesting. No, really it's a semicircle. A circle with an angle at, I don't know, 50 degrees? Does this need to be zeroed? An arc at 180 degrees. Does that do what I think it does? Yeah, it does that. I'm just using regular hinge joints in 2D. Okay. There's probably an on break or something. Hinge joint 2D. This is the hinge. Let's see what this thing actually does. It has limits, it has that, it has that, it has that. Huh. So how are you doing the braking though? Does this actually... That's interesting that this doesn't have an on brake. So there's use limits. Does this really brake normally? Like in, is that a default Unity behavior? Why am I opening my file explorer? No. Unity hinge joint 2D. Probably from the parent class. Oh, okay. Good catch. I did not notice that that had a... okay. Okay. Yeah, good catch. I did not notice that that had a property to limit how much force it takes. Ah, okay. So in joint 2D is probably where the braking is. Connected, attached, brake force. Okay. Collide connected. Interesting. Let's check out the hinge joint 2D and see what we get here. Rotation, etc., etc. You can apply limits, blah, blah, blah. Motor, use motor speed, use limits, cool. Upper angle constraints. Unity, detect, joint, brake, maybe? Brake. When a joint breaks, how do you detect it? Oh, on joint brake. Interesting. It's from joint. Okay. Oh, but it's not from joint 2D. Oh, interesting. By chance, is that literally a difference? No scripting reference on joint brake 2D. Oh. Joint 2D dot on joint brake. Oh, it's a... Oh, okay, that's why I've never heard of it. Because it's a magic message. Unity. Does this even suggest it, actually? Oh, it does! Wow, I've never heard of that. That's amazing. So yeah, you do this, and this will be called when a joint breaks. That's why I don't like Unity's design pattern. I really don't like that. That's so annoying. But yeah, good catch. So yeah, all you have to do, percentage guys, you just do private void on joint break 2D. That will be called when any joint breaks though, won't it? It's passing in the broken joint. Yeah, I think you're right. Sorry, I'm not entirely certain how to pronounce your name. But yeah. Better than having to register events for everything. In my opinion, I actually disagree. I prefer to have to register events. I prefer the event registration stuff. No wrong way to say it. It's a made-up name. That's great. Fedri or Feedry? Call it Feedry because of the. Well, no, because that could be Fide. Because if you have the spelling, wait a minute. I have to check something. I actually have to check something. Is that a name? Is that a name? Yeah, okay. So it could be Fidry as well. Because I think Heidi, because like Heidi is spelled that way, isn't it? With the EI? One and the same? Okay. Well, if it isn't the initial creator of Thrusty Ship. Wait, what is Thrusty Ship? I apologize, I'm not aware of that. Is it a thing? What is that? Oh, that's cool. Is that true? Long story, Mike and I aren't friends anymore. Oh, wow. That's cool, thank you. Thank you for being here. But yeah, I think you're correct. I think this will pass in any joint, so I think you need to know specifically which joint you're looking for. But I imagine if you know, you can probably... Ooh, okay, so can we compare... Wait, a hinge joint... Let's check this out. So this is a class of joint, right? So you should be able to compare these two, no? You should be able to compare those two, yeah. So you could check if it's a hinge joint. You could check a couple things about it, but yeah, you could compare it. But yeah, that's cool. So I've never heard of this game. Why have I never heard of this game? This is like exactly the kind of thing that I'd be looking for in games. Like, I love the whole top-down spaceship stuff. Why am I not... That's cool. I'll have to check this out. Because it's unknown? I don't know, it looks really good though. Like, I like the art style and everything too. So So what was the inspiration for this? This is cool. I suppose it depends. Things like start, update. I don't mind the message system. That art was from a hired artist. Ah, okay. Well, you know, I need to know exactly which joint so I can use the particle system. I don't really want to talk much about it. Oh, okay. Alright. Yeah, I apologize. I didn't mean to. I understand. I understand how projects can be. But yeah, do you do... Hang on, do you do any streaming? Because I gotta check that out. Oh my god, why is Twitch so terrible? Hey W, how's it going? Broken joint is the one that broke. Yeah, so percentage guy, you can... I don't stream, no. Oh, okay. Alright, so yeah, percentage guy, you can do joint.gameObject, and this will tell you the... yes, but how do I know exactly which object it is? So like this, percentage guy, you can do joint.gameObject, and it'll tell you which game object that joint's actually on. But yeah. But yeah. I mean, I think I get... I mean, I guess in the case of, let's say, ragdolls, I guess it makes more sense to have the message system, because then... Because then what you'd end up doing... Yeah, I guess in the case of ragdolls, it makes more sense to have the message system. But otherwise, it wouldn't be too bad, because then you could just say... if you didn't have the message system, you do something like, you know, find objects of type... I didn't mean to make the combo. Because you could say something like, find objects of type, like joint 2D, you know, and then you could say, you know, for each, you know, register, or, you know, for each joint, you know, then you could say on break, you know, plus equal to whatever. You could do something like that. Moving on live from that in the past, since then. Oh, you're a certified programmer, that's cool. So do you do C#, or did you get a certification in something else? Or do you not mean like you got a certification? Please don't tell me you use Java. Unity certified. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I was gonna say, please tell me you didn't get certified in Java. But does Unity... So Unity offers certifications? Because if it does, I might have to get one. Oh dang, it does. Oh, that's cool. How difficult... So how difficult is the certified... Oh, this is interesting. So do you have the... I assume professional? Or... Actually, wait a minute. Interesting. Associate, okay. And how difficult is it? Is it, yeah, I guess how difficult is it? Like, what's the most difficult thing on it, is my question. There's, yeah, apparently it's magic message. Okay. 2D stuff. But yeah, congratulations on that. You can pass it. It's just going by the code you're writing. You might be ready for pro. I'm not sure how hard that is. Oh wow, thank you. Yeah, so the thing is that I started writing code like in high school. Like we had the TI-83 calculators, you know, the magical little TI-83 calculators. And I think Zaysha learned this way as well. Is had these calculators, and like they make you use this version because there's some things that it can't do. Like it can't do factoring for you. But I was like, you know, I could just, you know, write all of my stuff on the calculator and I can make it do factoring if I knew how to develop it. And so yeah, I used to cheat in math class so much with that. It's hilarious. Math Ray, I did it in 2 days. Oh, okay. Might run through the junior thing. Okay. Yeah, I'll have to try that. So does the certification cost money? Or just to make sure there's no Unity specific holes that it asks for? Yeah, the Unity... There's probably Unity specific stuff that I'm not entirely aware of. It's 160, okay. And I assume it goes up based on which certification you get, so I assume like the professional one is more expensive than the associate or something. I assume that's how it works. I wanted to go... Why does it not... the pro's double the cost. Oh, wow. Okay. I wanted to go here. Go there. And... God, why does Twitch not auto-mute? I'm going to do that. There we go. Okay. So the pro's like double the cost. Okay. Yeah, so this stuff here, just to be clear, like, I don't normally write code like this. I'm just testing out, maybe able to do expert, kind of want to try. Yeah, go for it. You always seem to know stuff, Zaysha. Like, you're always telling me stuff that I don't know. So, I don't think we run into anything that you didn't know. So you're probably an expert. Like, definitely. But yeah, I don't normally write code like this. This was just me testing out... what is it? The reactive extensions for Unity. Like, I wanted to see... Nope. Was confident of being able to pass associate, wasn't confident for pro or expert. Couldn't afford those anyway. Yeah. I mean, I would probably end up going for... I'd probably end up going... Why is it pausing? Okay. You know, I'd end up going for associate or something. Just for the cost. But yeah, all of this stuff here is done completely with reactive stuff. Like, there's no... It's not really any procedural stuff in this. It's completely reactive. Just for fun. And here, I wonder if I would even pass user. No, I think you would. I've seen some of your streams, W. You know what you're doing. I mean, maybe not as much of the Unity specific stuff, but Unity has its own magical little way of thinking, so I don't know. I think it's an easy... I think once you know a little bit about it, it's like pretty easy to learn the rest of the stuff, because it is pretty consistent. I'm not experienced in video game development studio with at least 2 shipped titles. Currently learning to multiplayer using Mirror. Yeah, multiplayer in Unity is a lot of fun. Especially since they keep changing it every time you learn how it works. They're like, huh, let's just add a new library because the old one sucks. Yeah, Unity's great for that. I don't know. Is Photon still a thing? I think it is. Because whenever I did multiplayer, Photon was the thing that I used to use. But I think Mirror is another one, right? Yeah, okay. So Photon is still a thing. And then Unity. Mirror multiplayer? I assume Mirror is like a different type of service, right? With Mirror. Started out just making basics with Mirror. So how does Mirror deal with its an open source networking? Okay. So where... Oh, it's with low level. Okay. Low level transports. So you have UNet. Okay. Ninja WebSockets. Mirror is basically just UNet, but updated and maintained. Ah, okay. Started out just making multiplayer Pong, but then decided it would be more fun to have a multiplayer lobby that could load several different mini games like Pong and multiplayer. Oh, okay. That's a cool idea. That way you don't have... that way the individual games are not that difficult to make, and then you still get the lobby sort of stuff. That's cool. Huh. So they have low-level stuff for all the different services. That's a cool idea. Okay. So there's command client. Does it give examples of how this actually works? Because I want to see if it's any cleaner than... Let's see if it's any cleaner than the normal stuff. Right, I learned all multiplayer stuff I need for my big project and have a cool little portfolio piece. Yeah, it's a good idea. I should do something like that. but I'm not that organized, unfortunately. So I assume these are all... these... oh yeah, these are components, okay. So it just has a networked version of each component, and it probably uses these to sync it? Yeah, okay. And so, percentage guy, you're talking about Gravelbox. Can we do Gravelbox later? We probably can. Can't tell you a whole lot about it yet. I'm very early on learning how to use it myself. Mirror, yeah. This looks very similar to the newer Unity stuff, in that it looks like each component... it looks like these components sort of link to an existing component, and they just sort of... they basically look like decorators to me, where they just sort of decorate an existing component with extra functionality for the network, which is an interesting idea. Don't download Gravelbox yet. You gotta update it with a patch. Gotta update it. Oh, okay. Yeah, it's just a component on an object. Okay. Which is the Unity way. Yeah. It is the way. This is the way. Yeah, it looks like it's a decorator pattern where it just sort of adds extra functionality to this. I'm trying to think if I like that idea or not. I think it's like the only way they could have done it. This is the way. Yes, this is the way. But yeah, I think this is the only way they could have done it. Oh. Nope, that was that was a rip stream. Yeah, for me it went down to 0. It's weird because it goes down to 0. Oh, sorry about that. Yeah, it goes down to like 0 for like half a second. Yeah, it dropped. It dropped for about 10 seconds, it looks like. But yeah, it's weird because it'll drop to like 0 and then it'll drop to like over 10 meg, and I don't understand. Or it'll bump up to over 10 meg and then down to 6, and yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know how your computer made up all the frames in between. That's very interesting. But I guess it did. I don't know. So yeah, this is interesting. Okay, so it looks like all the networking libraries have a similar way of thinking. I'd be interested to see how the code actually works. Client and server, one project, yeah. I mean, that's usually, that's how Unity did it as well. They just basically had a, you check if it's the client or you check if it's the server. But yeah, okay. So how long have we been streaming? For about an hour. Sure. What I'm gonna do is I will change the title to, actually wait. So yeah, percentage guy, if you can update Gravelbox within the time that I'm streaming, then yeah, we can do some of that on stream. But yeah, so we're talking about Ludum Dare before. And what on earth is this? This Lego for Unity? Oh god. Well, that's... this might be interesting to use. When you import it, you also import all their code. As far as I can tell, so you can, and I have, go through and read all of it. Oh wow. Yeah, zipping up the patch right now. I have some way, I should say. Yeah, it's kind of hard to go through and read like all the code. Well, actually, wait a minute. Unity mirror GitHub. Is there a GitHub repo for it? Mirror open source networking library. Yeah, so you can go through and check all this out, even on GitHub. Script temp. Oh my god. What on earth? Oh wow. Wait, what? So this is a script template, but... Huh. Interesting. Wow, this has all the editor folds and everything. That's crazy. It's crazy how they have all the templates here. There's meta, there's authenticators, there's examples, there's components. Oh dear god. Oh dear god. Wow. A lot of stuff. You have, like, the network transform. Oh, so it's annotation based. Okay. Help URLs, add component menu. Oh, okay. So there's the add component menu. That. Interesting. So those are default Unity annotations. Okay, I hadn't noticed those before. There's network manager, namespace mirror. So is this implemented? So this is something that I don't understand. So if you have the network lobby, this is empty. Is this like implemented somewhere else, or do I just not understand how this works? Because I don't see the point of it being empty. Like, surely it's implemented somewhere else, but where is it implemented? I guess is the question. It's all documented in the code. Yeah. But is there an implementation of this stuff elsewhere? This is like the network manager. This is a mono behavior. Okay. Unity engine scene management, all that stuff. Okay. So if we look at network lobby manager, sure. So is there some implementation of this somewhere else that I'm not aware of? Is that how that works, or am I just not right with that? It's network loop, no. Transport. Yeah, this is one of the things that always confused me about this. Like, where is this actually? So this creates a network lobby manager. Complete left turn of the stream just mentioning mirror. Yeah, well, I mean, I wouldn't say that it's a complete left turn. Like, what I like to do is, like, whenever somebody mentions something that I don't understand, I kind of like to go look at it, or not something that I don't understand, but something that I've never heard of. I kind of like to go look at it just so that other people sort of get to see it as well. It's like, you know, people will mention post-processing, and then we'll start doing some post-processing stuff, and it's just, there's not really any rhyme or reason to it right now. It's just kind of, oh, that's interesting. Yeah, it's all interesting how all this is done. I can't really make heads or tails of it, but it is kind of cool. Huh, there's a lot of low-level stuff going on here. It's very, very rare for me to see a bit shift like that. Interesting. Yeah, I would go through and make, actually wait, attributes. Oh. Huh, is this a common thing in C# where you keep all of your attributes in a single class? That's interesting. I'm not used to that. Used to Java where you can't do that. I mean, I guess you could, but it wouldn't be happy with you. Yeah, it's a lot to wrap your head around, having to start all over with what I knew, basically. Yeah. I mean, the only real networking, like, I've done multiplayer stuff in Unity, but it was a long time ago, and it was through Photon. But yeah, percentage guy. Yeah, I think we'll check out, I think what I'll do is I'll change the stream title to game development and other stuff. And we'll look at an actual game that's written in Unity. Where is the actual download? Oh wait, I remember where it is. It's on, oh god, it's on Game Jolt, and I always forget about that. Oh my god, go away thing. Okay, Game Jolt. No, not this. That. Okay. I never use Game Jolt. Like, I use it for exactly one thing, and oh god, where is it? There we go. Nope, 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 that's not where it is. That's where it is. Yes, I follow that. It's interesting, okay. So sure. Let's get a copy of this. Save that. People keep mentioning Photon. Maybe I should look into that one. Yeah, Photon's an older one. It's uploaded to Game Jolt. It's trash. Yeah, I don't know. Game Jolt has never impressed me. I just don't ever use it. Part of the problem is that I never use it. But yeah, Photon, Unity. Oh, the game. Oh, okay. I mean, that describes a lot of the stuff that I build, so don't feel too bad. So there's documentation. Yeah, I mean, Photon is basically the same. You just add... You have, like, a bunch of components that you add as well, and there's other stuff you can do with it. You can always look at the new Unity netcode package. Did they... I thought that wasn't done yet. Is it not done? Or is it still... Like, I thought this wasn't done. Am I wrong about that, or did it actually get finished? I mean, like, the thing is, that just deprecated before I'm done. Yeah, that's the problem. Like, if this is built by Unity, like, I don't trust it, because the Unity developers, they just can't build anything. They really can't. The only thing they can do is just take stuff that other people built and integrate it into their engine. I don't think they'll deprecate this one, though. It's not done, but it's still get deprecated before I'm done figuring it out. Not soon, though. Oh, okay. So yeah, I mean, it's a new API, so that means we probably got, what, 4 years? Probably got about 4 years before it gets deprecated. That needs to be a category on Predictit, which is how fast will Unity will Unity Library X get deprecated? Could win a lot of money. But yeah, that's why I don't like to use Unity stuff. It's because they tend to break it before you're done with it, or before you're done learning it. Oh my god. No, I don't want to do this with WinZip. I just want to extract it. Oh my god. Hate this so much. Fine, open with WinZip. Are you happy? Stupid thing. Oh my god. No, go away. How do I unregister this? Make it Unity service and you get a lot bigger pool. Learn is dying already. Oh yeah, yeah, I remember Unity Connect. Oh my god. Unity Connect was great. That was the funniest thing I've ever seen. Oh, it was so sad. It was so sad. Unity Connect. That really just turned into like an advertising forum within like 2 months. Oh my god. And here you can witness, yeah. WinZip bothers me, because I hate it, but I had to have it. I hate WinZip, but I had to download it for like exactly one thing. Like, it was, someone sent me something that was encrypted, and it was like only WinZip could unzip it, or not only WinZip, that was the main thing. And yeah, I hate it because it gets associated with the file extension, and then it removes the extract all option, so yeah, that's probably fine. So yeah, like, since it's not associated, like, you get the extract all option here, but if you have this associated with WinZip, I think you lose it. Yeah, you don't get the extract all option, because why would you? I don't know. I hate Windows. I really do. I hate it. It's so stupid. I hate the new GUI. I also hate the clash between the different GUIs. Like this. This looks like the GUI from, like, you know, Windows 95 or something. You click change, and now you get this. It's not even a window. It doesn't move around. It's just junk. I hate it so much. It just bothers me. Alright. Let's actually play a little bit of Gravelbox to take my mind off of this. Because it's bothering me. Yes, Windows Defender. The only thing Windows Defender has never stopped is a virus. Anyway, Some of the Unity Learn assignments require you to upload a WebGL build. Not just any WebGL build, it has to be one from Connect. So you have to go into the package manager and grab the Connect package so you can upload it. Oh my god. So that you can upload it for the finished game. Oh, that's terrible. I recently tried uploading or doing some stuff for WebGL with Unity, and it takes an eternity to actually load. Or to not load, to build. Wait a minute, did the text just... No, okay. Yeah, okay, so what did you add in this one? You added a thruster. So, okay. Also, wait a minute, rotors. You said that there would be a command. Oh my god, that's a massive rotor. Hang on. No, it's not. The thrusters are just tiny. Okay, I see. Haven't you converted over to using play.unity? Oh, haven't you converted that over to use play.unity? What's play... Or they haven't converted it. What's play.unity? Why did you not go to the huge map? Because I wanted to see what this was about first. Oh, this is cool. I assume the thrust doesn't scale with the size of the actual thruster. Or if it does, it doesn't scale... Oh, that's interesting. It seems stable... Huh. It seems stable at that point. Interesting. Oh, well, that rotor just got destroyed. Jeez. Place a host of WebGL games made in Unity. Oh, okay. Apparently not. There was a conversation page on the assignment. I encountered like... On the first page, I encountered like that would link how to get the package you needed. Wow. Oh, interesting. That's not what I want. That's what I want. So can you still do the thing with the rotors? Where you just like destroy everything? Yeah, you can break stuff. Okay. But can you do the thing where you just like glitch the rotors out? No, they just break now. Wait a minute. What happens if you... What if I turn you on? What do you do? So that rotor can't be turned on apparently. Yeah, okay, I don't know why. I don't know what's going on with that, but okay. Can you not turn rotors on anymore? Is that broken? No, it's not broken. Okay. But yeah, you can't, okay. It said that you can't glitch them out anymore. By the way, misspelled typo on... oh yeah, there are two L's in controls. Normally there are not. Good catch. Huh. So, alright, let's clear everything. So here's a bug. Percentage guy. The clear everything doesn't... That's interesting. Yeah, the clear everything apparently doesn't clear the thrusters. I don't know if that's desired behavior. Is there a way to rotate stuff? I always forget. There's QE to spawn, right click to delete. So we can delete those. But yeah, it looks like clear everything doesn't work on thrusters. Okay. Oh, you know? Known bug, okay. Cool, okay, so if I increase the scale on these, okay, so there's no way to glitch the rotors anymore. However, you can create just... Wait, do these keep their torque? No, okay, sad. I don't know what I'm gonna do without the glitchy rotors anymore. I guess what we can do is we can try to... Oh, whoops, that's not right. So did you include the command to turn all the rotors on at once, or no? So let's try to do the classic thing where we try to glitch some of the ragdolls through the map geometry and see if that's been fixed. Okay, so it looks like they stack in a different way now, but what we can do is we can put some of these kinematic cubes over here, and then we can try to force them through the map geometry and see what happens. So we can get one of the lights. So the lights are kinematic, but nothing else is. And so let's see if we can force them through the map geometry. Oh, did you change the amount of zoom you can do? You can't zoom out as far, it seems. Force. Oh god. Nope. There's probably new possibilities with dismemberment. Well, I mean, the thing is that yeah, you can still force through the map. Oh god. Oh god. That's amazing. Oh, Unity. Unity is great. I love the Unity physics engine. Yeah, it's like liquid now. That's great. Okay, the lights are kinematic, but nothing else is. The cube has joined the chat. Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot. I forgot the cube had, or is kinematic now. I don't know where that limb just went. Yeah. Oh, okay, so you can just do this now. Yeah, okay. Fair enough. Okay. So we put a bunch of bodies here. Oh wow, that really lags out Unity. It really does not like that. Alright. Yeah, your poor CPU. Yeah, well actually, it's kind of funny because it's not the CPU that seems to deal with it. Because like even now, like it's only using I think a single core. Because to me it looks like the stream is fine, even though it's glitching like crazy. I think it's just a single thread in the CPU. But yeah, you can really destroy this game. It's a lot of fun. Whoops. It just froze for a solid second. Okay. Go to the huge map, spawn a ragdoll, zoom way out. Okay, I'll do that in a minute. Oh yeah, did you fix or did you change the thing where like explosives you can or the force changes with size? No, that's not fixed. Okay. Fair enough. How do I oh yeah, I know how I. There's no way to return to the main menu, is there? I have to actually load the level. Go to huge. Need to set the explosion to world space. Yeah. Wait, explosion to world space. Oh, you mean, because it rolls? It's like if we do this and then it like rolls a little bit sometimes. I like how you can destroy that explosion, that's funny. You can push that explosion away. Let's reset that. The particle system, yeah, you're right. Yeah, low level main is, oh, low level main is the main menu, okay. Oh wow, that's, I don't know why it gets blurry right there, that's interesting. Why did it get blurry right there? Is that just me imagining that? No, you can see that on stream. Interesting, okay. So we can spawn a ragdoll. Then we can zoom way out. Now you can't see the ragdoll anymore. Okay. What happens if we spawn a ragdoll way out here? It just disappears into the eternal void. Okay. That's great. Oh my god, it's amazing. Just the way that they move automatically is great. I don't know why that's so funny. Yeah, they just kind of do their own little thing. It's just so weird. And it's weird now how. So how are they being dragged out of here? I don't understand that. Like they don't stick the way they do on other maps, which is interesting. Do stuff with the dismemberment. Okay. I mean, they've been dismembered. But let's see here. Nope, we can't stick things in here anymore. Alright, fair enough. Okay, so can we still bolt people down with the lights? Like we used to be able to do? Oh, he just broke his leg. Oh, his other leg too. Okay. So how much force, so if I do this, if I put you, whoops, nope. Put you here. Explosions also cause dismemberment. Yeah, it's probably the amount of force, right? So if we do this, then you fall. Yeah, so you still can't bolt people down with the lights, but you can apply enough force to rip their arms off. Okay. Interesting. Huh, okay. Yeah, everything... I don't know, I want to say that everything breaking makes it a little bit harder to do stuff. So how does this work with 0G rect? Oh, okay, well, you just rip their arms off. Okay, that's how that works. Wow, okay. That's interesting. It seems like... So it seems like you don't need... Oh, okay, no, you do. You can just rip them apart very easily. You can apply enough force to rip the arms off. So yeah, apparently... apparently if you just... Like, all you have to do is just, yeah. Like, just moving them around is enough to just destroy them. Can you do that? Oh, wow. Jeez. Okay. Yeah, all you have to do is you just grab them and then you just shake them a little bit and everything just falls off. It's great. Great. If you think the dismemberment is too sensitive, put that in Discord. Yeah, it's a bot. That one's not being used for anything though, so yeah. Alright. Yeah, you can just completely destroy them. Just, yeah, I think the dismemberment's a bit too sensitive. Yeah, okay. So if we set up like a 0G ragdoll, okay. Then if we put an explosion here, what will happen to you? You will just be thrown into infinity, okay. You clipped that. Oh my god. It's too great of a clip. Oh jeez. Oh. Then you should put that on Discord. Okay, I'll put it on Discord a bit later. Thank you for clipping that, that's funny. Okay, so what else can we do? We can mess with the thrusters. So, okay. So if we have, let's say, a kinematic cube, if we can do a little bit of rotation here. Okay. So, no context clips are the best. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so if we put a thruster here, then we put you underneath the thruster. And then let's say we put a couple kinematic cubes up here. What happens if we try to crush you with the thruster, is my question. I don't know that we can actually do it very well, but definitely gonna try. Okay. So the thrusters apparently don't have enough power to crush things. Alright, well that's fine. Alright, okay. So what if we crush things this way? So like, if we just put you here, and then how many thrusters does it take to actually crush you? It's to slowly crush people with kinematic objects. Yeah, it doesn't seem like... So this is now crushing him, that's good. Okay. Okay, so I think there's a better way to do this. Oh my god, the thrusters. Oh my god, thrusters. Okay, fine, you're just gonna go that way, huh? Alright, let me load the normal map. What's the normal one called? Is it called default? Oops. Load level default? Yes, okay. So I want to load this here. Alright, so what I want to do, let's get a cube, just as a sort of flat crushing surface. Like that. Then let's get Kevin over here. Okay. Flat crushing surface. We have now Kevin. Okay. So let's put a bunch of thrusters. And let's just activate all of them. Oh, some of them just go right through. Huh. Interesting. So it looks like I think they reached the maximum velocity. So something that a lot of people don't know is that Unity has a maximum velocity at which it can process physics. Okay, maybe not. Maybe that's not how that worked. But I think there's just too much force on some of them. Ooh. Oh, jeez. Okay. Let's do that. It's interesting to me that that's not pushing that cube. Oh, there we go. Now it's pushing it. Okay. Okay. Let's see what happens. Does he get crushed? Nope, not quite. Okay. Well, that just means we need more thrusters. Okay, let's put more thrusters. And more thrusters. And more thrusters. And more thrusters. And more thrusters. Can we apply enough? I don't know that we can actually apply enough force to crush him. Okay, more thrusters. Okay, more thrusters. No, I don't think we can. I think he just can't be crushed. That's unfortunate. So it looks like we can't apply enough force to crush Kevin. The fuck did I come back to? I came back to me trying to crush Kevin. More thrusters, yeah, exactly. I mean, we can just do this, but like, it doesn't do anything. That's... Oh my gosh. So I wonder... Alright, so what happens if we put an explosive in the middle of the thrusters, right? Like, that should cause them to go crazy? Oh, wow, some of them just want to hang out on the roof. Okay. I cannot wait for the weld tool where we can just weld stuff together. That's gonna be fun. Well, I wonder if we can... Actually, wait a minute. I bet you I can do... Well, first off, if we do this... Okay, so that's a way of doing a clear all. I wonder if we can, like, create a hovering platform. I wonder if that's possible. I don't think so, because I think the thrusters will just, like... I think they'll just sort of be unbalanced. I don't know, I'm trying to think of how to actually say that word. Or not say the word, but say what I want to say. Okay. Let's set the time scale to 0. Oh right, we can't actually lift things that way. Welding thrusters to ragdolls on. Watch the ragdoll to pieces. That was my exact thought. I was actually thinking of welding it to their feet and then giving them like jet boots. You know how to make objects slow down in water. So there's a couple ways you could do that, depending on what you want to do. I mean, if the water's just going to be like static, then you could just have like an area that applies... Isn't there like a force effector 2D in Unity or something? I think it's called like a force effector, right? Oh god, what is it? Because you're using a Unity 2D game, so... Unity force effector 2D? Is that not a thing? There's an effector. Okay. There is... Oh, there's a buoyancy effector. So this might work. This might be what you're looking for. There's an effector. I don't know exactly how these work, but I seem to remember them being a thing. No liquid physics, just static water. This might be what you want. This might be what you want. Yeah, I would say look into the effectors, and if not, just up the drag. Use trigger to set the drag higher on the enter and lower on the exit. That could work too. Yeah. So either the effectors or the drag thing. The drag might be easier to do actually. I don't know. That's my thought too, if you want to slow stuff down. Okay, that's fair. Okay, so we set the time scale to 0, we turn you on, and we turn you on. Now what happens? Oh, that happens. Okay, well, that's not what I wanted to happen. Alright. I'm fine. Okay. The thruster has joined the party. Okay, let's get a little kinematic cube. Buoyancy could also work. Well, I mean, I don't know if it automatically makes the object buoyant. Like, if it automatically makes it... If it automatically makes an object buoyant, that would be an issue. But if it just makes the object more buoyant, then it would be fine. Because then you just set the amount of buoyancy that you want. But I don't know how it works. Like I said, I've never used effectors, but effectors might be better. So 0 would be just causing drag. Ah, okay. Okay, that's fair. Thruster is just like, oh, I'm late. Yeah, exactly. Actually, that's a good point, Zaysha. I never thought of it that way, but I think you're right. I think that buoyancy is just an effect on gravity. So 0... That's what it is. Yeah, 0G would just be causing drag. Yeah, that makes sense. And I mean, even if that's probably how it works in reality as well. But I'd imagine that's how the physics engine probably simulates it. The only reason that I say use an effector is because you don't have to worry about managing the stuff yourself. I'd imagine that the effector will manage the drag for you. Yeah, drag thing, a function of velocity. Yeah, I think, yeah, okay, right, because air is a fluid. That makes sense. So since it's a fluid, the dragging force, I don't know if it's implemented that way. Yeah, I don't know. I could imagine that it is. Okay. So what I want to do is I want to make this heavy enough that the thrusters don't just, like, automatically lift it. But I think it's going to be unstable. It's going to be the problem. But I mean, that'll just be more fun, right? Alright. Well, I mean, it almost worked. It almost worked, and then it didn't. Oh. I mean, it was more stable, at least. Curious, can we... Okay. So can we crush... I'm just curious, can we crush Kevin with a non-kinematic object? Is that a possibility? I don't think you can, right? I don't think it... Well, shouldn't have made this size. What I should do is I should make this... Yeah, that worked until it didn't. Yeah, exactly right. It's a good way of putting it. It worked until it didn't. I'm just curious what we can do. Actually, wait a minute. We can do this. Never mind. I know what we can do. I know what we can do. Hang on. Let me reload this. Yeah, I just had a thought. Okay. So what we can do. We can make a kinematic object like this. And what we can do is we can just make this larger in one direction. And then what we'll get is we'll get kind of like a like an elevator shaft kind of thing. And then we can put a cube inside the elevator shaft and we can make an elevator. It only goes one direction and it only works once, but you know, we're just gonna call it the agile methodology, right? We get the minimum viable product first. And I think this is always gonna have a non-zero velocity. I think there is a reload command. Check DC. Okay. Okay, right. I think it's fine now. So there needs to be a clone command as well, because it would be nice to be able to just clone this and move it over a little bit. But unfortunately I can't, so we have to work over here. I can't move this, can I? Actually, okay. Well, okay. We'll just have to work here. I think it stopped moving. Okay, good. So yeah, what we can do is we can make this a little bit like an elevator shaft. Like that. And then, whoops, we want to be, nope. We want to be in that direction? Yeah, in that direction, okay. And so this will be a little elevator here, right? Problem being that we want the time scale to be lower, yeah, okay. And we also, oh, that's unfortunate. All right, so what we'll do is we'll put a kinematic cube there to just hold this up. This is gonna be more difficult than I thought, isn't it? No. Okay. There we go. Now just hold this up. Just hold this up. Just hold this up. Okay. Then I can use another kinematic cube here to twist this. Yeah, there we go. Perfect. No, don't rotate. There we go. I don't think there's any way to rotate objects either, which is also a little bit of an issue. Oh, come on. Like, I mean, even like a command to set the rotation would be fine. Okay, so we have that. Good. Whoops. No. Okay. Do this. Come on. Rotate for me. Come on. No. No. Not that direction. That direction. Perfect. Alright, let's just set you down there. Okay, good. You can go away now. Okay. So we'll do this. And then let's make this a little bit smaller until it disappears. Okay, good. Great. Now we have a little platform. I just need to find a key to assign that to first. Yeah, I guess there are kind of, oh, Kevin's a lot larger than I thought Kevin was. Oh no. Kevin's a lot larger than I thought Kevin was. Okay. Well, we will lift... We can't lift Kevin, unfortunately. What we can do, get rid of some of these extra pieces, we can lift most of Kevin. we can't lift Kevin entirely, but we can lift most of Kevin. Yeah, there we go. That's about the size for this elevator. Okay. I didn't realize that was actually so tiny. Okay, so let's set this to 0. And let's lift these up. Okay. Oh, the thrusters are not powerful enough. Huh, good to know. So, one limb? We have a lift for a head. Oh wow, can it not lift? Oh wow, so it can't actually lift any of these. Huh. Interesting. Why are they so weak? I mean... Yeah, they actually can't lift that. Huh. I think they're getting stuck is I think what it is. I don't think it's that they can't lift it. I think that it's actually getting stuck. Yeah, I think it's actually getting stuck. That's unfortunate. Yeah. Yeah, it keeps getting stuck. That's the problem. Hey, Omar, how's it going? Thrusters need a power slider or something. Yeah, I totally agree. Thrusters just need to be more powerful. Or we need a way to make them more powerful. I really need to make the thrusters stronger. Yeah, well, I mean, here what's going on is they're getting stuck. Like, this is being wedged in a way. Whoa, that's interesting. Huh. That changes, like, the physics properties of that. But hey, Omar, how's it going? We're just messing with Gravelbox, which is the game that Percentage Guy made. So hang on, if I change you... Wow. Okay. I think... Interesting. So yeah, Unity is doing some really weird stuff here. I bet you we could... Huh. Interesting. So, okay. If I have this at speed 4 and then I try to push things through the ground, then what? Does it skip any frames or no? Huh. I'm trying to think of why the physics behavior changes at larger frame, or at faster frame rates, or even slower frame rates, actually. Is there updates? Couldn't access the huge map, potentially fixed. Okay. Have a challenge for you. Make a Happy Wheels clone? Okay. Make a Happy Wheels clone? I can't make that in this game, unfortunately. Not yet, anyway. Whenever you add welding, though, people probably will be able to make, like, a Happy Wheels clone. Huh. Wonder if you could play, wonder if you could play a game with these things. So I wonder if they're... I'm trying to think. What's a good... There's not really any way to rotate stuff. That's the main problem that I'm having. What can we do? What can we do? Is there a reload command? Doesn't mean like there's a reload command. Level default, okay. In Unity? I could probably manage that. Trying to think, play around with acid droids. Oh right, we can play around with acid droids. Right, you have to do that. You have to say like or what is it? Select? No. Is it GM? No. SM? SM select object. Is it acid? Is it one word? I always forget. I think it's one word, right? Acid droid. It is one word. Okay. Got it. Come on. Do they do something different now, or do they not? Oh, they're rounded, though. That's interesting. Not rounded, but like rounder than most things in this game. I guess except circles. Never mind. Never mind. Okay. I forgot this game had circles. But anyway, you could do... So what you could do, you can make kind of a ramp. Oh, whoops. Make kind of a ramp. Oh, God. I'm never going to get used to these controls. You can make a ramp. Something like that. And then we could put a light here to brace it. Because since it's kinematic, it can move everything else around, but nothing else can move it. Put another light there to brace it. Yeah. Perfect. Splashy shapes. Okay, they don't do anything. Alright, fair enough. So yeah, we'll have two braces there. Okay, then we'll have a thruster. There's no good way to create an end to this ramp, is there? No. Okay. Put this here then. Alright, cool. Whoops. No, don't do that, little friend. Do that. Yes, okay. Right. And what we can do is, oops, that's not what I wanted. Nope, that's also not what I wanted. Yeah, we can do this. We can create a rocket. Yay, it's a rocket. Well, that's cool. Alright, hold on. I will be right back in 5 minutes and we'll mess around with the rockets. Alright, and I am back. So, let me switch this back to that. Yeah, okay, cool. Okay, so, what we will do, first off, I have an idea. So, let's clear this. So I think, oh, whoops, that's not right. That's right, okay. So I have an idea. What we'll do is we'll do basically what we just did, but we'll have Kevin sitting on something that we can try to hit. So the idea will be that we will try to hit Kevin with a rocket. So I guess first things first, let's create a light. This will be kind of like the brace for whatever we're doing. Actually, no, the light can just be like the fulcrum of the lever. That'll be fair. Yeah, there we go. Okay, we have that, and we have you. This will be kind of like the backstop that we can use to adjust the angle of fire. So we can make this wider this way. And so control makes it wider this way, and then I think shift will make it smaller that way, yes. Okay. Let's do that. Cool. So now we can adjust the angle of fire like this. Good. And now let's do... Well, actually, let's make this a little bit longer. Like that. Like that, yeah, okay. Yeah, we can adjust the angle of fire like that. That's good. The missile itself will be like this. Good. So I think if we just throw this, so it goes about to the end. Alright, good. That means that if we build a little tower for Kevin, so yeah, this will be Kevin's little tower here. And we can have a block for him. Or not a block, but oops. No, R makes it longer in that direction, okay. F makes it shorter in this one. Something like this. So by the way, when Gravilox gets a public release or full release, has anybody here used the new input system? I have used it a little bit, Fidri. What is your question about it? I think Zaysha knows a little bit about it too, if I remember right. I think they told me about it. Okay, so that was a perfect pose for Kevin. So now, let's launch some rockets at Kevin. What? Kevin? How did you... Alright, well, you're not escaping the second time. Oh no. Okay. Well, apparently Kevin is escaping the second time. Alright. So, okay. Rapid fire. Okay. Yeah, I've used the newer input system. Go, go, go. Alright. So apparently... Yeah, so apparently this is not... Oops. Nope, that's not right either. That's not right either. Nope, nope, nope. Oh, interesting. So what happened? Science. Alright, so... What happens? Okay, so first off, this is the missile. Yeah, it gets too much mass and then it doesn't work. Alright. So we have that. But what happens if we do this? Interesting. So that appears to be a bug. It looks like only part of this scales. Huh. So if you do my suggestion when? I don't know what you mean by your suggestion when. Do you mean Happy Wheels? I don't know. Huh. Okay, so I think I've discovered a bug. Yeah, if it's Happy Wheels, I don't know when I can do Happy Wheels. But at some point, maybe? So yeah, I've discovered a bug. Oops. No. No. I still don't understand these controls. Okay. Or wait, is that a bug? No, I think that's how they normally behave. Okay, no, that's not a bug. That's how they normally behave. Never mind. Yeah, Happy Wheels, I'm not sure about. The thing about Happy Wheels, the thing about stuff is that... Also, why is Kevin surviving this? Why? Stop. Yeah, the thrusters just need more power. They need a power slider is what they need. Okay, so mostly looking for help on the dang thing. Do you need some kind of controller that selects the input map? Do you need some kind of separate manager for that, or plunk it in the player controller? Let me look at it really quick. Let me try to go through it once more. Maybe mess with the gravel box stuff a bit later. But yeah, let me actually import it into this and see what it actually, or not see what it actually. I've used it before. Let me see if I can figure it out again. Mostly looking for help on grokking the dang thing. Yeah, let me see. Let me just show you what I know, and maybe it'll be a good starting point. Because like the way that I normally do it is, wait, where is it? It's in the Unity registry. And then you have to actually, it's in the input system, LMM, ECD input system. Yeah, okay. So remember you have to install it, and then you have to do a bunch of weird stuff. So to install it, and then there's like a button you have to click somewhere, I think, that changes all the bindings. Is that right? Or am I wrong? I think that's right. Come on. Yeah, the way that I understand it, you have to create like an input mapping asset. And then the way that I usually do it is I register the input map to some kind of object. Sure, that's fine. But yeah, give it a second and it'll, sure, reload. Unity is doing something in the background. Alright. Okay, Happy Wheels, home of Happy Wheels. What is that? It's a web game? Okay. Oh, you want me to play Happy Wheels? Yeah, you have to change it in the project settings. Yeah, I think you're right. But it like gives you a button. So for Happy Wheels, I could play it at some point if that's what you're asking. If you want me to make a clone of it in Unity, percentage guy, that's gonna have to be a while, because Ludum Dare is coming up. So I think, oh god, where is it? It's in the player settings, right? Or is it the project settings? It's the project settings, then you go to, oh god, where is it? Is it player? No. It's edit preferences. And then is it, no, it's not here. It's gotta be in project settings. Oh, input manager. I always miss that. Okay. But you have switched to handling the input system package. Okay, so this means that it's working. Yeah, okay, so input manager, input system package. Okay. So this means that the bindings have been switched over, I believe. Okay. So my understanding is that you create a, oh god, where is it? It's an input thing, right? Input actions? Input system just below. Yeah, it's the input system package here. But do we need one of these? Oh, I guess we do. Okay. We have an input settings manager now. Good to know. I don't know what half this does. It's the dead zone stuff, I guess. I've not really messed with these settings. Like, the defaults have been fine for me, but I haven't used it that much. But it is cool that you can process the events wherever you want. That's cool. But yeah, my understanding is that you have to create this controls thing, and then you need like an action map, and then you need like actual actions. So like, you know, action can be fire, and then you create like a binding for like whatever thing you want. So for instance, like the mouse left button. So now you have all of this that you can reference. You can generate a default setup. Oh, So where can you... So you said you can generate a default setup? Where can you generate a default setup? Is there a... Is it a thing in here? It's input actions. Is it in project settings? The supported devices, input manager. Add an input manager to an object. It will give you a button to press. Oh, okay. So if you add, let's go to here. We add a, oh god, where is it? Oh, oops, not here. No, that's Tween Manager, UI video, 3D object, 2D object. In component, so it's input manager, player input manager, probably. WebApp's link I sent you is only one level, and I have no idea if it's possible. Interesting. So do you want an input manager object that handles swapping? So you do want an input manager object that handles swapping action maps then? Yeah. I mean, I generally want that. Like, the main thing for me is the action maps. Like, that's the main reason that I'd want to switch from the old input manager to the new one. Is that the old one I always had to implement, like, action maps myself. Because, see, like, the problem that I would have is that you'd have, like, you know, you'd have your gameplay controls, and then you would have a case where you would want to, like, open a menu, and then you'd want all of the gameplay to stop. So you could have a player input object. I think so. I don't really know what this does. I honestly don't know what this does. I've not used this. I feel bad. It's just called player input. Okay. Oh, it's just called player input. Oops, that's not what I meant to do at all. Remove that. Player input? No, player input, so it is. Oh. Oh, that's cool. Oh. Okay. So you can create a new input action asset. Wait. Where'd that go? That just disappeared. Wait. Okay. Oh, control's got its own. Oh, no, it didn't. The folder icon just looks similar. Okay, fair enough. So, input action asset. Oh, okay. So if this is none, then we can generate that. Interesting. So if I create actions here, sure, let's, oh no, let's not. Let's say, generated. So what does the generated look like? It's not a bad starting point. So what does it look like? Oh. It says move, look, fire. Wait. Wait, how did that... Wait. It's not a bad starting point. Wait a minute, how did it... So wait, did it generate this based on the stuff I'm already using, or did it? No, okay, I don't think it did. All VI bindings for the input system, yeah. Did it generate this based on stuff that I'm using, or is it just that this happened to be common enough that it figured it out? Because, like, this is the exact subset of things that I'm using. All the UI bindings for the main input system. Oh. Oh, wow. That's incredible. That's incredible. Alright, I'm very happy with that. Alright, so let's just delete this then. Let's just use the generated stuff. But yeah, I'd be curious to know if this is generic or if this is specific to what I was doing. Probably assumes you're using some default names. Possibly. But yeah, I was wondering if it was examining like the bindings that I have to the old input system, but I don't think it does. Rotation speed, all that. Indeed, it's largely based on the old input bindings. Ah, okay. So I think the way that I had this, or that I have this here, is with this observable stuff. So we can get rid of this. And what we can do is, I believe we can say, oh, you have to be using something, right? It's using Unity Engine. It's Unity Engine dot input, or no. Is it just Unity Engine? It gives you action maps, is that right? Is it in, no, it's a, oh god, what is the actual import for it? Or do I need to restart to get it? Oh god, I don't remember the import. Did you have it generate the C# files? Does it need to generate? I was just going to do it through a default action map. I wasn't going to actually have it generate the actual file. But I mean, I guess it's cool to show off that you could. So you could open this. And isn't there's a button to generate. Yeah, you could generate the C# class. So if you want, you can have it generate a whole thing for this. I'm generally not a fan of doing that, but you can. So for instance, it gave me this generated. So it just turns it from JSON. I don't know. Not a huge fan of it. And then you can do like a protected, generated. It's quite nice actually, yeah. Makes it so that you don't need to do string lookups. Yeah. I mean, but you can reference the actions directly though. So you can do, for like generated or something. So you can do, generated. So what is it? Is it like fire, or is it player? Yeah, player.fire. So yeah, so this is the action map, this is the this is the input asset, this is the action map, so it's the player action map, the fire action, and then I think you have it's a performed, yeah, so you have a performed callback, and so you can add a lambda to this, which takes in a context, and you can say debug.log, mouse clicked or something. So we can do this, and then so I'll make this a serialized field. So right now, if I link a generated to this, it will, right, actually, I think that's fine. I think it's fine. So in the case of like a tank here, where's my player thing? Wait a minute. Can you not serialize that? Do you actually have to create a new instance of this? So you say like, I don't know, input is equal to new generated? Is that how you do that? Is that how you do that? That's weird. I'm not used to that. You just use new. Oh, okay. Fair enough. I thought you had to link it. Okay. So yeah, now whenever, oh, whoa. Let's pretend that didn't happen. Whoa, what happened? Oh, right, okay, so you can't call it here, you actually have to call it here. I guess that makes sense because Unity's system doesn't run until awake is called. Or you don't have the Unity runtime until you've called awake, or until awake has been called. There we go. So now whenever I click, nothing happens. Ah, right. Okay, so this is the fun. This is the fun of this input system, and this is the best. It's the best thing in this input system that has ever existed. You actually have to enable these for them to work. It's the best thing that ever existed. Class gives you an interface to use so you can bind it to all the actions and methods in the script. Yeah. Yeah, so this is great. This is great. My favorite feature of this system is that you can write this code, it looks like it should work perfectly, and then it doesn't. Because for whatever godforsaken reason, all of the action maps start as disabled. I don't understand why. It is... I mean, I sort of get it. I sort of get it that you don't want all of them enabled at once. Yeah, I know. I've used this thing like 3 times and I still forgot to do it. It's great. It's great. Oh, it's so annoying. But I swear there's like an action map reference. Hang on, let me kick Visual Studio and let me reopen it. You can just enable the whole thing. Oh, okay. That's fair. I'm still not a fan of it, but it's still fair. I mean, this enables only the player action map. Like, I get why you might not want it, but it seems like it should be an option in the asset, right? Where it would just say like start enabled or something. Like, I hope they change that. I guess, yeah, infinite system. So the way that I usually do this is I do a what is it? An action or input action reference. Action reference, input action reference on fire. Oh wait, you can't? Wait, can you not do let me do var. Hold on, let me see, can you not enable the whole thing? Oh no, you can enable the whole thing. But yeah, I think like I was talking about it just maps the bindings and you can enable. Yeah, so you can enable the whole thing. I was just saying that if you have, like, let's say you have like 10 or 20 different action maps, right? Like, this will enable all of them. So I could see, like, I can understand why they would start it disabled by default. Like, you may not want all of them enabled, and that's fair. But I would prefer just like an option in the asset itself to say start enabled or something, and just have that be default true or something. But what you can do is you can also do this, I think. On fire, can you do .action or something? .action.perform. So what you can also do is you can do serialized field here. And so can you pass in an index to enable? So in the case of, so if we said like input, you can select the action map directly. So for the case of like generated here, so input, so we have 2 action, or actually let me just show it in here. I named this poorly, but yeah. So these are the 2 action maps, they're player and UI. So if you're generating the C# class, what you can do is you can say input.player.enable. And so this will enable the player action map, or you can enable the UI action map. And so what'll basically happen is if you what is it? If you check this box, it'll build the C# class for you in such a way that you can just use this stuff. But if you don't check that box, you have to use a more generic reference. And so in this case, let's say I don't want to do this. Let's just apply that. Oh, does that not delete it? Oh, that's kind of annoying. That's kind of annoying that it doesn't delete that. Okay. But in this case, what you can also do is you can also just take the map itself. So you have player/fire, this is the action. Then you can just reference the action itself, if you want, in the script. And so now, oh, is it not enabled? See what I mean? See what I mean? It just... always forget. Always forget. It's so annoying. It doesn't start enabled, but anyway. This is the other thing you can do. Is you can just reference the action directly, which I prefer to do. So like for the case of the tank, I just prefer to reference the action directly. And you can do that with a input action reference. But yeah, this is just my preferred way of doing it. So yeah, those are basically the 2 ways of doing it. Is you can either generate the C# class and create a new instance and use that, or you can reference the action directly, and you can use a serialized field for that. And basically the main way to use it is that it just provides, so you can enable and disable action specifically. Yeah, it's really cool, isn't it? Like you can, if you want to disable any specific action in a map, you can do that. But the main thing that's so good about this is that if you want to disable all of the player actions at once, you can do that. And that's the amazing part. Is because, right, whenever you have like a pause menu, you don't have to worry about storing somewhere that the pause menu is up and that, then you have all of your like player stuff, ignore that, or stop working whenever the pause menu's up. What you can do is you just disable the player's like action map here and just enable the UI action map. It's really good. Like, it's really good for that sort of stuff. And, I've had to build a lot of that stuff myself, and I'm like, yeah, action maps are just the way to go. So many new things to learn all at once. Yeah, I mean, the biggest change that I've seen in the input system is the change to lambdas, which I'm really happy about. But it's confusing a lot of developers. So like, the onFire.action, it has this performed. I think it also has the canceled stuff. And then I think it also it has another one, right? It has performed, it has canceled, and does it have, oh, it has started, right? That's the other one. Yeah. So yeah, you can do a whole bunch of stuff with it. Unity better not deprecate this before this thing anytime soon. I think they're actually going to keep this one. The input system has been something that they haven't been terrible with. So, I mean, it's better. I don't know. It's one of the better things that they've done. It's not great, but it's better. But yeah, you can do a whole bunch of cool stuff with it. But yeah, the main change is just the changing to lambdas. You can also register the same method to all the events. Oh yeah, that's true. You can. That's a good point. Yeah, the big change is the change to lambdas, which I'm super happy about. I'm glad Unity is finally evolving to do something other than what they were doing before. But yeah, you can do a whole bunch of interesting stuff with it. Like, you can create, it's my understanding that you can create action maps in code. So like, if you want some kind of dynamic stuff, oh, what do you mean by the change to lambdas? Wait, this enables moving input completely out of update. Yeah, it does. It's been like that as long as I've used it. Well, I mean, the previous system, I'm talking about from the previous input systems. Like, the previous input system was like, like get key down, like key code dot, escape or something. Like, this was the old input system, right? So like this new input system has been lambdas forever. Oh yeah, use polling, I see. Yeah, so like the lambda system as opposed to the polling system here. But yeah, you can move input completely out of it. You can use the new one both ways. Yeah, you can, that's true. So you can do, what is it? Is it mouse dot current dot position? Yeah, you can do something like that. It's all event now, so yeah, you just subscribe to the input events. Yeah, exactly. And I mean, you could, or you could pull the values and update. Yeah, that's correct too. Or you can use reactive extensions in Unity, and you can have, you can subscribe to update, and then you can pull. You can subscribe to update, then you can pull. You could do a hybrid. You could do both at the same time. You don't have to choose. It's great. But yeah. So that's the newer input system. I say newer because it's been around for a while, but I just don't use it, and I should. Baby steps. All right, another step. Yeah, you can move all the input stuff. Yeah, so the input stuff can be, actually the crazy thing is I think the input stuff could be on a different object completely. Well, I mean that would be marginally useful, but you know. You can do a bunch of cool stuff with it. Yeah, of course. Yeah, and thank you Zaysha for telling me all the stuff that I missed, because I'm still not that good at it. Yeah, I think I at least have a better understanding of it now too, because I didn't really have, or I hadn't really used it that much, and I think explaining it kind of helped. But it has been about 2 hours, so I think I'm going to call the stream here. Thank you guys for joining me. Still quite a bit more to see too. Yeah, no, it's got a lot of capabilities. I mean, I've heard that there's some dynamic stuff, like you can create action maps and stuff like that inside of code. So you could theoretically support different kinds of controllers and stuff like that that may not be as common. Or, you know, yeah, I don't know. Zation does a lot of stuff. The rebinding is a dream in comparison. Yeah, that's true. The key binding is also also really good. Haven't messed with it. Yeah, thank you guys for being here. It's been great chatting with you. Hope to see you guys again. And I will see you guys later.